What's up, y'all? It's your boy Spider 3.0, keeping the action going with another figure review. Sorry, y'all, I know it's been a minute since I dropped a review. Your boy has been extra busy as of late. Um, and, around the time that I actually got this figure that we're looking at today, I got sick. Like right after I got the flu real bad. I hardly ever get sick, but this flu took me out, man, for like about a week and a half, and the first 3 or 4 days were miserable, man. But yeah, I was so mad because I wanted to review this guy, and yeah, this flu just caught me and really kicked my ass for a bit. But I'm back, man. So we are gonna take a look at a DC figure today. As you can see before you, he is wrapped in plastic. I got him about, it's been almost like a month now. So, I got him like well over like 4 weeks ago. So it's been about a month since I've had him. But this is, I'm gonna slide him out the way for just a sec. This is the DC Universe Classics New 52 All-Stars Batman. As you can see right there, the seller was very kind enough to label this figure for me. This was an extra, layer of bubble wrap or plastic on the outside, and they labeled it and, told me exactly what this figure was. So that's really cool. So I'm gonna put that aside. That's the first layer. And as you can see, Batman here is wrapped in another layer of, plastic, kind of like saran wrap type of stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and get him out of that, free him from his plastic restraints, and we will get into this review. I'm excited, man, because I've seen some reviews already of this guy, and man, he looks like a very promising figure from what I can tell right off top. And I've been wanting a Batman figure in my collection, 6-inch scale for quite a while, kind of like a classic Batman. And I'm very picky when it comes to Batman figures because, I'm not really sure how large my Batman collection is going to end up being. So, I want the figures that I do get of him to be very, just like the best of the best, basically. So I think this guy kind of achieves that thing, for me at least. Let's go ahead and get him out of this. There we go. Oh, man. He looks awesome, man. Right out of the plastic. Yes, sir. All right, so let's see if I can get him standing here. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, he definitely. There is one gripe that I have about this guy we'll get into in just a minute. But it's something I expected because, a lot of other people pointed it out in their reviews. But here he is. Here is the New 52 style All-Stars Batman from DC Universe Classics. Let's see if I can get him. There we go. Get some focus on him. Oh yeah, he is looking good. He's shining. So I lost my, I misplaced my ruler. Can't seem to find it. I was looking for it right before the review and I can't find it anywhere. So to measure this guy out, I'm gonna be using a protractor today. So we'll try to get a rough estimate of his height right now. And he seems to be standing just over 6 inches. So he's just a little bit taller than this protractor, up and down. If you count like to the top of the bat ears, he's like maybe, I would say like 6.3, 6.4 inches tall. So he's got some good height to him. He should scale well with a lot of your other 1/12 scale figures. I guess it depends on, the line that you get him from, because obviously 1/12 scale kind of varies between different toy lines, but he should have, some good size and height to him next to your other 1/12 scale figures. But yeah, man, this dude is awesome. Like aesthetics wise, I think this is one of the best Batmans I've ever seen. And that's the reason, one of the main reasons I picked this particular figure up is because I just really, really like the design of this guy. I mean, his aesthetic is amazing. I really like the choice of gray that they went with on this guy. It's like a very dark gray, like a dark shade of gray, where we're used to seeing Batman with like a light gray, like classic Batman. He's got like a very light type of gray going on. Sometimes instead of black, he has like blue, like the blue cape, blue cowl and everything, blue gloves, blue boots. But I've always been a bigger fan of the black look for Batman because I like the darker look for him. But this is like the first figure I've seen that has like this particular color of gray, and I've heard a lot of people call this like a pewter gray. I've never really heard of pewter until they said it. So and I'm gonna be dropping some of those reviews that I watched in the description, so you can make sure you check out those channels, see their reviews as well. But yeah, I guess this is called a pewter gray, so you learn something new every day, so that's what's up. But regardless, I really really like this color of gray. I like the darker gray on him. I think it looks really cool, and it kind of gives a nice balance between classic Batman and kind of a movie style like Batman. I feel like this figure has a nice touch of realism to him, and it's kind of like a nice balance between the two. So I really love that. But yeah, so let's see. I guess we'll get into play and display first, and then we'll take a closer look at his aesthetics as we always do. So starting off with articulation. Now, I'll get into the little gripe I had that I mentioned earlier. This figure, unfortunately, is notorious for having a bit of a bobblehead. As you can see here, his head is very loose, and I don't know why that is. I guess the engineering, I'm not sure if he's on like a ball peg or what, but however they put his head on there, they definitely didn't make sure it was very tight, which is a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. We just gotta live with it. But it's not too bad. I mean, it's pretty loose compared to like most Marvel Legends and things like that. But the head sculpt itself looks so nice that I'm not really complaining about it because I feel like that kind of compensates for some of that looseness. But anyways, his head can look up about that far. So there's a side view. It's a decent amount of looking up. Not quite all the way, but it's all right. Looking down, he gets that much, so not bad. He can almost tuck his chin in, so that's pretty good. Does he get any leaning? Yeah, he gets a little bit of leaning, a little bit of expression in there. So a little side to side tilt going to each side. So there you go. And it should be able to, let's see, I'm thinking it can rotate. Let's see, yep. Got a full 360 rotation in there. Very, very nice. For our arms, we can start with the shoulders. The cape is probably going to get in the way just a little bit, but his arms are on like a hinge, ball on the hinge type of joint. So his arms can go, or shoulders rather. If you got the hinge pointing down, it's going to manipulate the shoulder to get the hinge going facing downwards. You can go all the way up. Well, not all the way, about like a 90-degree angle. So that's not bad. Not bad, not bad. Obviously back down by the sides. It seems like it can rotate 360, but obviously the cape is going to get in the way a little bit, but it should be able to, if that wasn't there, this should be able to go pretty much all the way around 360 kind of motion. He has a nice bicep swivel in there. That's very good. Seems like we got a single jointed elbow, but we still get a pretty good bend out of that, just about 90 degrees. So that's pretty good. Back out, down by the sides. Let's see, legs can go out all the way to the side, pretty much. Just about a 90-degree angle. So that looks really, really good. You can pretty much get into some good splits. Back down. We have a lower rotation in the leg, not really I guess a thigh swivel, it's closer to the knee. He does have some swivel in there. Very nice swivel going. Looks like a single jointed knee. Allows him to get, so you really push it. He gets just about a 90, maybe a little bit better. So not too bad, not too bad. Back down, kicking forward. He can kick out And this leg seems to be a little bit loose, but you can kick out about that far. So maybe just a little bit less than 90, not too bad. Kicking back. Move the cape out of the way. Get the leg going back about that far. So that's pretty good. Nice range going back, actually. Pretty nice. And then for the feet, we have a hinge. So he's able to hinge his foot up about that much, which is all right. And kicking back, kicking the foot down, we can go about, let's move this other foot out the way so you can see that, about that far. So pretty good, pretty much down on his tippy toes. Let's see, for the torso, he does have, he does have rotation at the waist, just above the belt. So he can rotate side to side pretty nicely. Very nice rotation there. And he does have a ab crunch. So he can crunch forward. Let's see here. See how much he can crunch. Not too far forward, going forward, only about that much. Put his arm down. About that much going forward, going backwards. About that much. So that is all right. So yeah, there you go. Let's see, does he have, no rotation on his his arm gauntlets, but yeah, seems to be his play and display abilities. So yeah, man, I really love this particular Batman figure. Very cool aesthetic. So let's take a closer look at that. Matter of fact, just look at this guy up close, man. Look at this. Really dope costume. And they say, they call this the new 52 Batman, from the Allstars. But to be honest, I feel like this look is kind of, it kind of varies away from the real new 52 look, like from the comics. Because the new 52 look has a lighter gray. It's like, the more classic type of light gray for Batman. And there's actually like, some subtle differences in the suit. But I still really like this particular style of it. I think it looks really good. I feel like it's, a very solid look for him. So, I really love the bat symbol. I love the size of it. I love the shape. So he's got like the black going across. Very nice. I just love how, how much space it takes up on the chest and the overall shape of it. It's got that nice classic look. And it just looks really nice against, the darker, the pewter gray. Looks very nice. So very cool. You can see he's got some nice, like, the sculpt on him is amazing. I think that's one of the best, one of the biggest things that drew me to this figure is the sculpt. So you can see all the musculature in his legs, his arms. It's a nice buff Batman while still, not being too huge or anything like that. Because I think when it comes to Batman, as far as like his build, I prefer like, a buff Batman, but not super big, because I feel like that kind of starts to take away from his, mysterious type of vibe and stuff. Because I like when Batman is very like, conspicuous and blends into like the night and everything. And I feel like if you make him too big, it's not as easy for him to blend in. He stands out, more. So I like it when Batman kind of blends in with the shadows and, gets the jump on the bad guys. So, I really like this this build for Batman. I think it's great. It's pretty much just right. So you can see like all the musculature. Look at the biceps. Look at those shoulders. Nice big superhero shoulders, nice chest. Got the abs, six pack going. Very nicely sculpted. Same with the legs. You can see all the detail in the boots. Very nice detail in the boots. I like that the boots and the gauntlets have somewhat of a glossy finish. You can just see all the sculpting going through there. Really nice, man. They killed it on the aesthetic for this figure. See the gauntlets there. It's got a nice kind of shiny, glossy type of feel to it. And then, the cowl and the cape are a little less shiny, maybe like a satin finish. I'm not really sure, but it's definitely not as shiny as the boots and the gauntlets, but it still looks really, really nice, as well as the bat symbol. And the cape looks really cool as well. And it's even got some shading in there. It's got some light blue shading right there. You can see on the inside, that's a really nice touch. I don't know if they, airbrushed that on or what, but however they did that, that looks really, really cool. Definitely gives the cape an extra nice aesthetic. All that blue shading in there, running down the cape. Very, very nice touch. Gives it some depth. And then you can see the cape from the back. Very, very nice, man. He just looks dope from the back. I mean, look at that. You see how the cape folds and goes down his back. Let's see if I can get some better focus on there. There you go. Look at all the wrinkles and the texture as his cape flows down. Oh, it's awesome. Love it, love it, love it. So, let me put him down here and get him standing up. Now, one other gripe that I do have that a lot of people actually have with this figure is the belt. The utility belt, I feel, is a little bit on the small side, which isn't great. Not even a little bit, it's very much on the small side. I feel like this belt would go on like, maybe a, 3/4 inch, maybe scale Batman. It's just so tiny compared to, him as a figure, as a guy. And I don't really see how he's going to be able to fit anything in these, tiny ass pouches. But, so that's definitely a little bit of a problem for the aesthetic, I feel. And then also the color. I feel like, this kind of bright yellow mac and cheese type of color kind of throws off the look of him. I think that maybe like a bronze or gold type of color for the belt would have looked a lot better. Or, something more on the brown side than yellow. I feel like the yellow kind of takes away from the very nice aesthetic that this guy is rocking. So that's just my opinion. You guys can let me know what you think about that in the comments. Do you like this belt? Because it's cool that it has like that color and kind of like a classic look to it, because I'm sure that's what they were going for. But I just think it should be a bit bigger for sure, like maybe 10-20% scaled up. And then, also more of like a brown, like a bronze or a gold type of color, I think would complement, the rest of his outfit a lot better. But that's just my opinion. But yeah, man, overall, this is a solid Batman figure. I really, really love it. I really do. One thing that I did notice is that the legs are a little bit loose, but I think that's just, I'm not sure if that's just a common QC issue, but I think some other reviewers also had, that kind of thing going. It's really his left leg. Now that I'm kind of playing around with him, seems to be his left leg is looser than the right. I'm sure that varies from figure to figure, but the biggest thing that I think, even if you get this guy brand new, he's pretty much gonna guaranteed have a loose head. I mean, that seems to be a standard QC issue for this guy. He always has like a bobblehead, even when he's new out of the package. So that's a bit of a bummer, but it's not. I don't think it's too loose to where you can't hold poses, which is really nice. So it's not like his head is gonna just flop down all the time. I mean, you can see right there, it is kind of just. I'm trying to put it up, and it just kind of wants to go back down, but it's not too bad. I think you're still gonna be able to get him into some really nice poses. And look at the face sculpt while we're looking at it. Check out the face sculpt on this guy. Very nice design also for the face and the cowl and everything. You can see the white eyes. See if I can get some good focus on his face. Get some focus. Okay, I guess you guys can see that. But yeah, he's got some really nice white eyes. I love the attention to detail, like the sculpture in the cowl, like where his eyebrows are. So you can tell he's kind of like frowning. I really like that wrinkle in the cowl just above his eyes. That looks really, really good. And he's got very, light skin, because this is obviously kind of based on like a cartoon, I guess, look, or like a comic book look. So no real color to his lips or anything. He's just pretty much a very light, almost pale white. But I think it looks really good. Still looks very, very good. See it from the side there. And I like the length of the ears on the cowl. I know Batman's ears kind of vary in sizes depending on the styling. Like the Arkham series, He's got like very large, long ears pointing off the cowl. These are like more classic, kind of, short but still pointy ears, and I like that. I think it definitely goes with this particular look for Batman. But yeah, man, overall I'm loving this figure. Aesthetically, I think it's great. Articulation, that we just looked at, play and display. It's decent. I wouldn't say it's up to most Marvel Legends standards, but it's still pretty good. Obviously, he's lacking, a lot of the double jointedness in a lot of the joints, but he's still able to achieve like 90 degrees from like most of his limbs, like the arms and the legs. So I think that's still pretty good. As long as a figure can get at least a 90, most of the time I'm still rocking with it. As long as it has a good aesthetic and everything else kind of checks off. I like to get at least like a 90-degree angle out of arms and legs and things like that. And if it can at least achieve that, then in my book, it's still a good figure. So this guy definitely checks that box off, and he looks great, man. I'm very very pleased with overall with this figure, and yeah, he's like I said, his aesthetic is amazing. I really like the design of him. I like the length of his cape also, kind of like where the cape falls. It doesn't quite come to the ground, but it's pretty close, and you can see the tapered look that it has in the back. It's got that nice pointy look that's very iconic to Batman, especially like when he's like gliding, jumping off of something, and you can kind of see the cape spread out, and it's got that pointy look to make him look more like a bat. I really like that. So yeah, man, I'm digging this figure. I'm rocking with it for sure, doing his thing. And I wanted to show you guys real quick here. There is, see if I can pull it up. I want to show you guys what the new 52 Batman, comic Batman looks like, just in case you were unfamiliar with that look. And just to show you some of the differences between that and this figure really quick. So I can pull it up. New 52 Batman. Trying to find like a good comic image of him. Okay, here's one. I'd say this is a pretty good one. All right, so I'm gonna slide him out the way for just a sec here and lay him down. Here is the new, matter of fact, let me open it in a, open it in a new tab here. There we go. So here's the new 52 Batman, in comics, how he looks. And you can see, it's a pretty similar look to the figure that I just showed, but it's definitely got more of a lighter gray going on. But, the cape and everything looks pretty much the same. Got the gauntlets, same look, for the cowl and like his face and everything. The belt, you can see like the belt is more of like it's like a very light, this one looks almost like tan or whatever, but it's supposed to be, I guess, like gold or something like that, maybe beige, I don't know. But anyways, you can see like the color there. And you can see also the new 52 Batman is known for having kind of like panels, like panel lines going through his suit, like through the chest area. And this figure actually does have that. I don't know if you guys were able to notice. It's harder to see because he's got a darker gray color, but you can actually kind of see it on here. If I get close, get some focus, you can see there's some like lines going from like his chest and kind of going down towards the center of his torso. So they got some of that panel lining in there. So yeah, and you can even see it down here, like at the bottom of his abs. You can see like some of those lines going in there. So yeah, they did kind of get some of that in there into the figure, which I think is a really nice touch, especially in the legs. It's more evident in the legs. You can see at the top here, like right at the beginning of the thighs, you can see like those lines going all throughout and going down, kind of weaving their way around his legs. So yeah, I think that's a really, really nice touch. Definitely adds to the aesthetic for this figure. So I like that a whole bunch. But yeah, that's just a quick comparison so you guys can see, kind of the look that this figure was inspired off of. Now, I've seen one image of Batman that was like almost dead on to this figure, and that was actually from YouTube. YouTube had recommended me a video. It was it's called How Batman Beat the Entire Justice League, and it kind of broke it down. There's multiple videos on it, but I'll just show you this thumbnail really quick. This is probably the most, I wish I could make it bigger, but it's a thumbnail, so it's gonna go away if I click on the video, but see, hopefully you can get some good focus on this. Let's see here. Just slide my computer over just a bit more. Okay, right there. Hopefully you guys can see that, but that thumbnail right there where Batman's sitting down, he's like holding, looks like Aquaman's trident. And you can just see all the entire Justice League just laid out next to him. Like he's sitting on the throne. That's a crazy picture, you know, right there in itself. But I feel like this look, whoever drew this particular look of Batman is almost dead on likeness to the figure. Like, kind of scroll up, there's another video on it. And it kind of shows him a little bit bigger. But yeah, you can even see like the 3 lines kind of going towards the bat symbol on his chest. The gray is a lot darker. Not quite as dark as the figure, but it's still a lot darker. And the cowl and everything else looks pretty much spot on. But yeah, those 3 lines are like a dead giveaway, because even this figure has it. You can see right there on the side of his chest, you know, the 3 lines going in towards the bat wing. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably like the most accurate drawing or, you know, comic illustration that I've seen that comes close to this figure. So just wanted to show you guys that real quick, but we will now get into size comparisons and head on out. But yeah, I love this Batman figure, man. He is dope. Really, really love the sculpt and the frame of him. I like how buff he is and, you know, heroic looking, while still keeping that, you know, mysterious, you know, dark. He's like, you know, slim look. He's not like bodybuilder status, but he's a big guy. You know, he's definitely got the superhero aesthetic going. So I like that a whole bunch about this figure. But let's get him next to some other characters in and not in his universe. I mean, it's the multiverse, right? So anybody can be in your universe these days. You know what I'm saying? Let me get him a little bit closer. So here is Batman back here. And first we'll get him next to the Mattel Movie Masters Dark Knight Batman. Even though this is technically based off of Batman Begins. But here you go. Slide him over just a bit for some size comparisons. And you can see this new Batman definitely has some height over this Movie Masters line. This Movie Masters line is a lot closer to true 1/12 scale, so he should be, you know, a bit bigger. He's like almost a head taller than this guy actually, so yeah, there's a size comparison for that guy. And let's get him next to the Go Riders. Some of my favorite figures ever, my first SHF. We've got Blue, Navy Thunder, and Crimson Thunder on this side. And they are both kind of, you know, posed up, but you can get a overall sense of their height next to Batman. You can see that. And one thing I love about these two figures is they're so easy to stand up, man. That's one thing I really, really love about them. They're very well balanced. But yeah, you get a good look at those. You can see the height. Batman is just slightly taller than each of them. I feel like he actually might be slightly more so taller over this guy than him, but that actually makes sense because, you know, if we're going off of Blake and Hunter, Blake was definitely shorter. So there you go. There's them. Next, we'll get them next to the Marvel Legends Carnage that I recently reviewed from the Venom line. Here he is next to Marvel Legends Carnage. Still love this figure, man. It's so freaking dope. So damn awesome. I love it. I love it. So there he is with Marvel Legends Carnage. And you can see Batman is maybe just slightly taller. So I think that's appropriate. And let's see, we'll get him next to the Lunar Wolf Ranger from Wild Force Lightning Collection. I kind of got him posed up, so excuse me if you can't really see his head too good there, but Hopefully you get a good sense of the height right there. So there you go. I'll put that down. Let's get him next to Shocker, Marvel Legends retro card Shocker from Spider-Man. And there you go. Pretty nice height comparison between those two. They're almost the same height. Shocker might be like just slightly taller, top of his head. There you go. And we got to get him next to Superman. This is the Man of Steel Mattel Movie Masters Superman. And I've been really wanting to see what these two look like next to each other. I was, for my display, I kind of want to do like a Batman v Superman type of thing. So this hopefully will allow me to do that. And that's, again, I think that's the thing about this Batman figure is I think he has a very nice aesthetic to where kind of like realism going to where he can blend in nicely with these movie Superman figures and kind of do like a Batman v Superman type of thing. So there you go. It's a nice size comparison. I'm gonna slide him over a bit between these two. And it looks like Batman's actually just a little bit taller than Superman. But I think this looks pretty good side by side. And frame-wise, yeah, this Batman actually seems like a little bit bigger than Superman, which is kind of, kind of reminiscent to the movie, which I did recently just watch. Shout outs to Zack Snyder. The Ultimate Edition is definitely better than the original. So if you're gonna watch Batman v Superman, I say go for the Ultimate Edition, director's cut or whatever. But yeah, I really like how these two look side by side. And here he is with the black suit version of Superman from the same same line Movie Masters. And that looks really cool. Great juxtaposition right there between the two of them. The all black, the silver S and everything next to Batman with the darker colors. Oh yeah, that's fire. Fire, fire, fire. Here he is with Slade Wilson, aka Deathstroke. That is his name, right? I'm pretty sure I got his real name right. But anyways, here is the McFarlane Toys DC Rebirth Deathstroke next to Batman. And you can see Deathstroke obviously has a little bit of height over Batman, but still looks really good. Let's get him next to the Spectacular Spider-Man, my boy, because it's been a long time since he's been in some size comparisons. I've had him hanging out, on his web in my room for cool minute now. So there is Spectacular Spidey next to Batman. You can see obviously he's a little bit shorter, as he should be. He's like a kid. Let's get him next to McFarlane's Spider-Man. Let's see. Just slide him over just a bit here. And there we go. McFarlane's Spider-Man. Make sure he's standing up straight. There we go. Just slightly taller than Batman there. So there you go. And we'll get him next to Movie Masters Scarecrow from the Dark Knight trilogy, or Batman Begins. Looking very, very good. Very close in height there, like that. We'll get him next to the White Ranger / Abarekila from Dino Thunder. Slide him over just a bit here. Boom, boom, boom. And obviously his knees are a little bit bent, so he's probably a little bit taller, but I like this pose so much that, I kind of refuse to take him out of it. I just really like this pose. I think it looks badass, but there he is next to Batman. So there you have that. And last but not least, here he is with the Mark V Iron Man, another figure that we haven't looked at in quite a while. So there you go. And that's gonna do it, guys. That is my review on the DC Universe Classics New 52 All-Stars Batman figure. Great figure, man. If you're a fan of like the New 52 aesthetic or, just like classic look for Batman, I highly recommend this figure. I think he's gonna look great in your display or wherever you decide to put him. He's got a decent batch of articulation. The aesthetic again is amazing. Very, just very cool. And different kind of styling to Batman. I think, again, the sizing of him is great. The sculpture, the musculature and everything looks very organic. Just a cool looking figure, man, all around. dope figure. So highly recommended. But yeah, that's my review, guys. I'll be sure to drop the reviews that I watched in the description so you guys can check those out as well. More videos on the way, man. You already know I'm gonna be headed back to Frankensons, any day now. So, be looking for all types of reviews coming to the channel very, very soon. But thank you guys for rocking with me. If you're new, be sure to subscribe. Appreciate it. Yeah, love y'all. Take care, and I'll see you in the next review. Biospider 3.0 signing out. Keep the action going.